Welcome to MTV Glow, where bright conversations always flow. This is MTV Glow, people you should know. Welcome to MTV Glow, where you discover the people you should know. In this podcast, we shine a light on the brilliant professionals in our provisors community. I'm your host, Rav Medirata, a fellow provisors member, entrepreneur, and founder of companies focused on AI, SEO, and lead generation. I believe strong referrals start with real conversations. And that's exactly what we are here for. In every episode, you'll get a quick, engaging peek into the lives behind the titles, how they work, who they serve, and what makes them stand out. From playful intros and ideal referrals to AI insights and marketing tips. This is your fast track to knowing, liking, and trusting the voices in our network. So let's dive in and discover what makes today's guest glow. Today's guest is Syeda Nazifa Nawroj, a Silicon Valley-based corporate attorney who has helped founders and small businesses close over 35 M&A deals totaling nearly $3 billion. With nearly a decade of experience at top firms like DLA Piper and Fenwick and West, Syeda is also the author of Sell Your Startup, a highly rated, no-nonsense guide that demystifies the M&A process. Readers call it a game changer for founders. It's filled with practical strategies like self-diligence and early prep that can dramatically boost your company's value. Syeda now leads her own firm, Empowering Legal Solutions, where she brings sharp legal strategy to startups, nonprofits, and growth stage companies looking to scale or exit on their own terms. Hello, Syeda, and welcome to the show today. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Ralph. I'm very excited to be here.
So for our audience, why don't you quickly introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit more about Empowering Legal Solutions?
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Syeda Nazifa. People know me by both names. You can call me Syeda. I am the owner and principal attorney at Empowering Legal Solutions PC. We are a law firm for businesses in Silicon Valley. I started my practice about a year ago. I have already added 3 more attorneys to the team. We primarily serve startups and life sciences, but we also serve other private businesses like accounting firms and medical practices.
That's awesome. 3 more attorneys in 1 year. You're at the Silicon Valley path. That's awesome. So,
Yes, we've got to keep up with the clients.
absolutely. So, Syeda, how would you explain what you do to a 10-year-old?
Oh, very fun. So, to a 10-year-old, I have a 4-year-old son, and I try to explain to him what it is. But to a 10-year-old, I would say that I am a lawyer for businesses. I don't go to court in front of a judge and fight for them or fight for whatever is left of the pie. I am the kind of lawyer who advises a business to grow their pie by making sure that they are managing all of the business risks, following all the rules that apply to them, and making sure that their moms and dads who run those businesses as executives and owners are personally protecting their assets and their liability and keeping it separate from the business.
That's so great because I've seen a lot of attorneys who are only interested in disputes and helping business owners win their side. So I really appreciate what you do and how you explained it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I grow the pie. I don't fight over the pie. That's the way to remember it.
That's I am a strong believer in the blue ocean methodology as well. So that's great. So on that note, what would be the most fun explanation you've heard of what you do?
Oh, the most fun explanation that I stand behind is I try to make sure that litigators who are my counterparts don't have any jobs. My best aim in life is to make sure none of my clients ever have to hire a litigator. That's the goal. It doesn't always happen because we can't control what other people do, but I try my best to mitigate that risk. I think that's fun.
Yeah, well, there is enough for them as well, so I'm sure they'll find the clients where there is litigation. There is no choice, but there is litigation, right? But
Right.
that's really fun. Uh, cool. So, what would you say is an ideal client or referral for you, and what can a business owner like myself tell them about you?
Yeah, so two very great questions. I think an ideal client for me is anyone who has vision,
Hmm.
but does not know or is afraid to start a business. Um, that is an ideal client for me. Another and a great example of it actually is one of my nonprofit clients I recently have helped. It's a California homegrown nonprofit called Ad Good Corporation.
Hmm.
The founder was an ad tech executive who worked in media for a really long time. He had a great idea to take unused ad inventory
Hmm.
from major media corporations, get them to make a donation, and for nonprofits to then be able to access it and use it and get prime CTV airtime to promote their nonprofit causes. And he went to a number of different attorneys who did not understand technically what was going on. Because I'm a startup attorney, I dug in and I was like, let's see what your technology actually does. And we figured out how to make it a nonprofit, how to pitch it, how to structure it. And it was one of my very first nonprofit clients at ELS. And I'm very happy to say they actually exceeded 20,000 in revenue just last month. And they're looking at nearly $6 million worth of donations this year. So that's a great client I work with, purpose driven, have very strong visions. They know what they want and they need a go-getter on their team to just fix their legal for them. Like that's my ideal client. I would say I would give you another example on the flip side. In addition to really early stage companies, I also work with growing, scaling companies that are more mature. So another ideal startup client actually has been a startup who has been around for more than 10 years in the health tech space. They started as a health telemarketer, but they have pivoted multiple times now, and now they're adding AI and they're going in a completely different direction. So they came to me and said, Syeda, our old investors don't understand what we're doing, right? We have all these old people on our cap table who don't understand where the vision and mission are going. I don't have the flexibility I need after I have gone through 6 rounds of preferred stock financings and my board is stacked. I want to start fresh, but I don't want to lose all of the assets and goodwill and traction that I have built in the last 10 years. And I don't want to close the business because that's what it would mean to lose all of those assets to close and start fresh. So we spent 3 months negotiating a complex transaction that involved at least four different corporate transaction aspects. We did a recapitalization, a share buyback. We created a new subsidiary, dropped the assets into it in a tax deferred way.
Hmm.
And now he has basically started with the same assets, the same goodwill, but a brand new company with a new cap table and more flexibility in management. So while I deal with new visionaries, I also deal with old visionaries and people who are veteran in the game and they have a complex business problem and they're looking for a unique legal solution. So I would say any founder who you think is excited about what they're doing and they want their legal to keep pace with them, that's my perfect client.
Those were two great examples. The first one, I like to call some of those people entrepreneurs. So you help entrepreneurs become entrepreneurs. That's amazing.
Yep.
And you mentioned AI, and that's a great segue to the next question I had. You're in Silicon Valley, you are in the legal space, which is perfect
Yes.
for AI. So what impact of AI are you seeing on your practice already?
It's no longer an impact. It's this is the new world. It's like the moon landing, right? Since AI came to the scene, starting with language learning models, which have evolved so fast, um, technology is not going to be like we have ever known it before. It's just the reality of what artificial intelligence is. And if you're a tech startup, anyone who touches AI, deals with AI, interacts with AI clients, even if you yourself are not an AI company, this is a reckoning. This is a reality. You have to keep up with it or fall behind, right? You got to land on the moon with all the new AI companies, or you stay back on Earth, right? So we are actually, and it's very shocking. Everyone I kind of talked to is amazed at it. One of the attorneys actually we added is a data privacy expert with experience at MasterCard and Amazon in artificial intelligence. Because we wanted to have even if we are a super new company with a small team, one of the very first needs that we saw for our startup and technology clients was they needed information and advice on data privacy, data management, artificial intelligence, what their internal operations and policies should be. So even if I'm technically a corporate business law firm, we already have expertise in artificial intelligence, in addition to having a CIPP certified privacy professional. So I am trying to use my own advice, right? And accept and embrace the fact that artificial intelligence is here to stay. If it's not revolutionizing your business right now, it will inevitably tomorrow. And
Mhm.
it will happen much faster than anyone has been able to predict so far. And I think that's where I think it is. That's where we're headed. I think it's a reality that all businesses and all business owners should be thinking about.
That's awesome. So you already found that even in your niche of business law, people are already asking for AI advice, and you've built for that. How about your current practice, your business operations, your growth plans? Are you using any form of AI in that?
Yes. So I call it smart use of technology, right? So one of the things I try my best to do, and which is also why I have now hired in-house experts to advise me on, is to understand exactly what the AI will do for our business. So in my law practice, we use artificial intelligence not to do issue spotting. We don't use it for issue spotting. We don't use it for strategy advising.
Mhm.
Um, we also do not use it for a large part for client service. Those are very human centered and those are very business centered. We do use artificial intelligence for legal research to advise on memos, draw all the resources that we can. We use it for legal drafting, which is why we're way faster. So previously, when a legal contract would typically, when I was at Fenwick, there was a rule of thumb that said a merger agreement cannot take less than 60 hours to turn around.
Wow.
So that's we used to say that, and that's not true anymore. AI has changed that, and in very positive ways, because now AI allows me to look back on my database of merger agreements and find all the clauses I need in 3 seconds,
Wow.
where previously it used to take me 3 hours to go back on all of my previous agreements and like find exactly what I was looking for. So legal drafting is much faster now. Contract work is much faster now. A
Mhm.
lot of people argue for law firms that this is breaking the hourly model, right? The
Right.
hourly business model is not working, which is why we see a lot of people who understand AI, who are able to smartly use AI, are moving to fixed pricing. So one of the things we are now able to offer because of AI is some of the corporate work we do are fixed pricing, but a lot of them are not. Like I said, for legal strategy, for problem solving, issue spotting, especially when we're doing brainstorming
Mhm.
kind of work or legal problem solving kind of work, we can't make it fixed price. But if it's some contract that you need that has already been done and dusted before and it's a known problem, we can make it much faster and easier for you with the help of AI.
That's awesome. And being an AI proponent, I really like that it's already helping you so much. Now, coming to your client side, when you're in the Bay Area, we've all heard about AI startups getting crazy valuations. So, in terms of business valuations, mm, what have you seen? Why are AI companies valued so differently for buyers? And does that even make sense in the short term, in the long term?
I am not going to shoot myself in the foot by actually telling you what I feel here. But I will kind of add a few general thoughts. One of the things I will say is AI companies are highly valued for a reason. They are incredibly high leverage when it comes to productivity increase, right? So if a business is able to understand how to implement AI, their ability to generate revenue has just increased a thousandfold without the need to make previous cost investments in human capital or just the amount of time it used to take to build a software product
Mhm.
before AI compared to post AI has completely revolutionized how software apps are made, right? So there is actually real value in artificial intelligence. So there are definitely some cases where artificial intelligence works, right? So buyers, I think, so why are buyers kind of getting swept up in high value? Like this is just economics 101, right? When we have this kind of a disruptive technology in the market, there are going to be some people who get swept up in the kind of wave of it, and they're like, oh my God, anything that's AI is gold. But buyers who know what they're doing are not actually doing that. You will notice from a legal perspective, one of the experts that we work with on a regular basis is actually a ex Google Cloud and ex Meta cloud engineer who now has her own consulting shop. And basically, the whole premise of her business is she helps buyers and investors figure out which AI technology is genuinely productive and useful,
Mhm.
and which AI technology is really what we call wrappers,
Right.
where we take your business idea, right? You just take your business generating, money generating idea and you just put like lipstick on a pig, right? You say, here, we have some AI on it, but it's actually not an AI company,
Right.
right? So smart buyers and smart investors are actually hiring law firms, advisors, and experts who are helping them in due diligence figure out whether an AI company who claims to have a really high valuation is truly AI in the sense that it's leveraging it to revolutionize and disrupt and really create high value, in which case they should and can command really high valuation,
Mhm.
or whether it is some other kind of business in reality that is just using an AI wrapper and kind of just adding .ai to the end of their domain name, and now they have just become an AI company. We saw a similar wave when we had the .com bubble, right? We had internet come in, and then all these brick and mortar businesses were actually like a pizza store. They opened up a website and they said, "We're now a technology company, right? We're a .com." So this happens, and savvy investors and buyers know what they're buying.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Any closing thoughts, any remarks, or how other lawyers or other businesses should be using AI?
Um, I can't say for other lawyers, but I can definitely leave you with the message that you should now expect more from your lawyers. That's what I'm going to go with it. Previously, the law firm model that we traditionally knew of, you would go to a business lawyer, they would give you a bunch of contracts, and then you would sign it and walk away and pay a huge bill, right? That model no longer needs to apply because of AI, because of the ability to do virtual business very seamlessly, because of the ability to do contracts purely online now. All of the revolutions we have been seeing in technology and business for the last 5, 10 years, including AI, allows you to access really high value legal services at much more accessible and affordable rates. So I still see a lot of people coming to me and saying, "Oh, I know you used to work at Fenwick, but like, will you be able to do the same thing?" And my answer is yes, and I will do it. I'll be more accessible, and I will probably be way more affordable too. So legal industry is changing, so the consumption of legal services should change too. And instead of looking at your lawyer and law firm as a paper pusher or just a contract preparer, start thinking of them as a problem solver. Go to them with your actual business problem. Test your lawyers this way. Go to them and say, "This is where my business is. This is what my business goal is in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years. What will you do for me, my business lawyer? Right? How will you run my legal? How will you handle this transaction? Right? That gets me to my business goal." And I think we can and should start expecting more from our professional services.
Awesome. Awesome. Those were some amazing insights. Thank you so much, Saida, for joining us today and sharing your valuable insights.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Raf, for having me, and I'm very excited to keep seeing you um, going forward.
Same
Take
here.
care.
Thank you.